Welcome to the Questing on the Road podcast. Today we are leaving the truck stop near where we just delivered. Technically, the delivery in the game was to Dallas, but as near as I can tell, this here looks like a Love's. And we're actually pretty far south from Dallas, and I think we're in Hillsboro, which somewhere it's between Waco, Texas, and Dallas, Texas. So that's where we're starting our day here today with Bobtail. We're going to head up to our where we're going to pick up. But in the meantime, I've got lined up for you a game of Mars Horizon. This is a game I very recently discovered. I've really enjoyed it quite a bit. So it's, well, you'll see what it's about. I talk about it here at the very beginning. So let's go ahead and get to the show. All right, guys, welcome to Mars Horizon. And going ahead and start a new game here. I've played this a little bit. I have two other campaigns. Once I went through the whole tutorial, and once I played through as Japan. And well, I didn't play completely through. I played through enough. It's like, man, I really enjoy this game. I love this game. I'm really looking forward to sharing this with you guys. I am going to go ahead and do a custom agency. I'll go ahead and start with the United States. I would start as Japan, or thing is, like when they do the liftoffs, they say it in Japanese. I don't know Japanese. It's kind of cool, but I think I'd rather have it be in the good old America. But we will customize this agency. And we can do it various ways. We won't be the Germans. We're going to call ourselves Star Quest as our agency. And I like the look of this one. So I'll pick this one. You could probably do like custom ones, but I have no idea how you do that. I really like the way that one looks. So that'll be our flag and also be on the side of our rockets and so forth. This will be, instead of the Kennedy Space Center, it'll be the questing truck stop. I'm going to customize our traits. I already know what I'm looking for. I'm going to look for efficient. Where are you at? Economical construction and efficient construction. I wrote it down here. I looked at this before I even recorded. So, both of these makes the vehicles build faster and also cost less, which is really nice. Especially with some of the contractors we can get later. In the name of progress is one I want. Here we are. If we fail a mission, we don't lose support. We'll talk a little bit more about support when we get into the game itself, but that is indirectly related to our money support. Premium assembly would take plus 20% for the payloads. So you build the payload, then you build the vehicle. The payloads were going to cost us more to actually build, but which isn't ideal, but that's because I wanted this next thing, which is going to be an amazing thing. Here it is, operational specialists. Plus one mission slots is huge. So we'll definitely take that. Confirm that. Right now we have basically the default American diplomacy. We'll go ahead and push randomize once. And apparently we're friendly with the Russians now. So, and not so much for everybody else. Neutral to the Chinese and the Japanese, and kind of competing with the Europeans. So I've not done a whole lot with the diplomacy part of this game. Maybe we'll do that a little bit more here. But let's go ahead and get into the game itself. I was really going back and forth between veteran and pioneer. I am experienced. The main thing I don't like about this is I don't mind the resources. Don't necessarily mind that. This is what I don't like. I don't like the lowered launch reliability and payload reliability. That's kind of a real pain in the butt. Which I could customize it. I could just say, this will be fine. No, but I'll just play on Pioneer. That should be fine. That's what I'm used to. Welcome, Director. The space race has begun. Staying ahead of the pack will require unprecedented feats of engineering and no shortage of daring. Your role is to develop a space program, leading us into orbit and beyond, keeping our agency at the forefront of space science and inspire generations to come with our triumphs. Humans will one day set foot on another planet. Make sure we get there first. Good luck, Director. So this is kind of the space race. It actually starts in 1957, and you start from the very beginning. Now they do follow, like the vehicles follow very closely what real life does. So like you don't. It's not like Kerbal where you customize and build your own unique rockets. Kind of like plug and play with existing stuff. Disable the tutorial, please. I don't need the tutorial. It will just mess me up. So every 12, I mentioned support. Currently we're tier 1 support. We need to get 150 more total support to go to the next tier. What the tier does is every month we get so much money. In this case, it's 51,000. At the end of the year, we'll have a funding review, and if we have enough support, it'll up our tier. And the higher our tier, the more money we get per month. So that's why I say support directly affects your money. Now, I don't generally fail a lot of missions, but I don't want to deal with that. Then the research, you get so much research every turn. When you do missions, well, let's get in here and do one mission. We need to do a test lab. We need to launch a sounding rocket. Before launching payload orbit, it's vital to test our agency's launch facilities and suborbital flights. These sounding rockets will carry an array of sensors and other experiments, but don't have the power to achieve orbit. So they're just suborbital stuff. There are milestones. Like if you are competing with these guys as far as like firsts, it'll keep track of who hits first. It'll actually keep track of who keeps first, second, third, and fifth. But there's rewards for getting first, second, and third. So if we do this, it takes 1 month to do it. We'll get 100 support. We'll get 250 science, which is paid out over 1 month. That'll change, and we'll take a look at that. And then here's additional progress if we beat everybody else. So if we're the first to get it, we get plus 25 extra support. Of course, this is a very simple mission, so it's not hard to do. We'll go ahead and plan the mission. There is no payload, so we kind of skip that part of it. And we go right to our vehicle. And the sounding rockets are very simple. They're all the same. There is no real building extra ones. You can name a vehicle, which Nemesis sounds cool to me. So these will be the Nemesis rockets. The sounding rockets will be called the Nemesis rockets. This is Nemesis 1. The Nemesis 1 rocket. Let's go. Confirm. It's going to cost us 64,000. Take 2 months to build. Launch reliability of 25%. That's really not good, but it's what we got. Okay, and then it's all revealed. There will be a special trait at the end. Sometimes there's nothing. Most of the time it's some weird thing that'll happen. We'll see it when we get there. But after 2 months, we'll actually build this. I can go back to mission control if I want to, but for now, let's go back to here. We do need to set our research. And do we need to research a small launch? We do. We need to research a small launch pad. Costs us 100 research. We make 112, so we'll get this next month. But we need to build that launch pad before we get the vehicle. So it's kind of our first research is already planned for us, which we'll get into that here in a minute. None of this other thing really matters. There's a Spacepedia, like stuff you unlocked. It has just additional cool information. Like I guess there is like a special thing for the Japanese space agency. I guess if you play with each faction, it'll give you like information about special things. I'm not going to read it right now. But cool thing if you guys pick this game up to see. They are making a Mars Horizon 2 as well. I've not looked into that yet. I've only really recently become aware of this game. It's like, man, this is really good. I like this actually. Oh well, Kerbal has a lot of cool things about it. This game will get old. Kerbal will kind of keep going, but out of the gate, I think this is better than Kerbal. And I've not played Kerbal 2. Whatever. Let's get on to the next month. The way these episodes are going to work, I'm going to go through two years per episode. So it is all turn-based. So you get plenty of chance to make all your selections and so forth. Here we've got our launch pad. Launch pads are an essential service structure to launch vehicles, allowing maintenance work and providing data above the vehicle ahead of the launch. Okay, now we go to the base, and then we have to build this thing. This is a particular mechanic I don't really much care for in this game, but it's here. So there's adjacency bonuses with various things. You can't really see them unless you like put it on there. But also, like in this case, it'll be like well, I guess you can see it down the corner. But you see, if I put it here right next to the headquarters, there's actually a penalty to it. So there's a little bit of like moving around. And also, if I put it over the terrain, it costs money, actually a lot of money usually, to clear some of these terrain blockers. But we don't need to do that. I'm going to put it up here, I think, right next to this building. That's going to give us minus 2% build time. You can kind of see what everything has. So the vehicle hangar has minus 2% build time and also plus 10 size per month, which is being generated by this. So this connection is giving 10% per month. This particular connection is giving us minus 2% vehicle build time. Let's go ahead and back out of that. We need to set our research. What do we? Well, we want to get started on this as soon as possible, because we're going to want to be able to launch those things. We're going to need these two, though. We need all kinds of research. Yeah, we need this first. Go ahead and into the next month, which our Nemesis and our launch pad should be complete both in the same month. This is what you do in the tutorial, by the way. It goes through all this and does these first steps for you so you don't mess it up. Unless you're me and you mess it up because you didn't understand something. It's one of the reasons I started over into like Japan. Okay, launch pads are essential. Yeah, allows us to launch small vehicles. We got the Nemesis 1 rocket ready. No additional effects. Launch reliability of 25%. That's terrible. Okay, yeah, there's no training available. We'll get into that when we actually do that. There's no crew, so we don't have to worry about that. So we just go set a launch date. And we're going to set it for April, the very next month, because there's no reason not to. Green are optimal launch windows. Yellow are suboptimal. You get like a penalty. And then red, you can't launch at all. I'm not sure why a sounding rocket can't launch in September, but here we go. Okay, confirm mission setup. Go to solar system. So next month we will launch. Also, you see over here like past events. It keeps track of yours and everybody else's events. I'll try to keep an eye on this. I'm not very good at that when I'm playing by myself, but let's go ahead and get the test launch going. We will be first if we succeed, which 25%. Well, you'll see. You'll see how that works. And it's raining too, so that's going to make it even worse. As a matter of fact, Nemesis 1, do I want to risk? Now, if you fail, it's not just a support bonus. You get some science out of even failure. And also, if we launch, we're going to level up the rocket as well, and as you level up the rocket, it'll actually get better. Like this first launch is actually kind of designed to fail. And in the tutorial, it does fail. I'm not sure if it is required to, but I do know when it failed in the tutorial, the next part of the tutorial talked about how it failed. So, yeah, we got minus 5% because of bad conditions. There's a 20% chance it fails. Even in the 60%, we should be fine. So let's go ahead and continue. Like there's a 25% chance we get great results.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1. We have liftoff.
Did we get lucky? We did. All right. All right. So we get less science reward for this, which isn't great, but at least it was a success. And see here we got like a plus 15% launch reliability for a sounding rocket. And we were first. First launch, extra support. And we're going to get 187 science next month, which is already applied. You do get a certain base amount because of buildings. So, like even if you don't have any missions going, you're still getting a little bit of science. Got a funding review. Do we have anything else on Earth to do? It doesn't look like it yet. So, had a successful launch. We should have our artificial satellite research done here next month. Yep. Essential first step to any space program. The first agency to launch a satellite into a stable orbit around Earth will take prominent early lead in the space race. And I want that to be us, which reaches the dawn of spaceflight. As rocket technology advances, so does the prospect of exploring beyond the confines of our planet. Yet the public continues to question whether the fledgling agencies can overcome the dangers of spaceflight. Unlock to the moon. So we can see the moon now. But there's no missions there. Well, there is a mission, lunar orbit, but we don't have that research. We can't even try that. We don't have any rockets that could go there. Let's go into research. And we do need this payload in order to... We don't really have the science. Well, actually, we do. We should be able to actually get this payload going. So let me go ahead and pick up the payload. We'll have just enough science to do it because we have 239 banked and then 112 coming in. So that'll be the 300 we need. No requests. The milestones are the main ones, and you get extra bonuses for that. But then there's requests, and requests are kind of basically repeats of these, but they'll have different rewards for it. But that's all. The main thing we're going to be doing is requests, and then the milestones as we get to them. Let's go into the next month. A small, simple satellite capable of transmitting basic scientific data back from space. Okay. Now we're going to need to start actually making rockets. So we're getting a Vanguard booster here. Should be able to get that one in the next month. Also, okay, cool. We can get started on this. Even though we don't have the rockets ready, we can start with the payload. So being first here is going to give us extra support. 400 science over 2 months. So it'll be 200 science per month. And then, of course, the support bonus, which we're already meeting our next target. And I don't think we're probably not going to get this launched before the end of the year anyway. So here's the payload. We start with the payload. It's usually very simple. There are some like options you can do with it. It's going to cost us $120,000 because of the premium assembly, which isn't ideal, but it is what it is. But you can. This isn't going to make a lot of sense until we actually do a mission, but you can change this to get various extra rating. But also, it tells you here, like improve communication modules, reduce payload reliability. We don't want the reliability to go down. Same here. We could reduce the build cost a lot. A 50% reliability. Oh, that's risking a lot. What's this one doing? Well, we don't want to increase the build cost. That's so risky. It's too risky. We're not going to do that. We'll just build a standard payload. It'll be done in 2 months. Let's go back to mission control because we have a mission slot available still. Let's go back to Earth and go to this request. This is where that's really going to pay off because we can get extra science, extra support just from extra missions we can do constantly. We're going to launch a sounding rocket with a 35mm camera to image the curvature of the Earth to prove the Earth is not flat, apparently. Okay, build the sounding rocket, 64,000. That's where we're getting like extra benefit from the construction. And generally speaking, especially later, rocket construction is a lot more expensive than the payload construction. So it's going to be a lot better having cheaper here than over there. This is going to be a sounding rocket, so it's going to be a Nemesis 2. And we'll build it. We've got enough money. We can do it. We'll be ready in August. So both of these things will be ready in August. I'm probably not going to have enough money to launch or even build the other one if I even get it researched by then. Let's go into the next month. Go into July. Vanguard's done. A small liquid-fueled rocket designed for launching basic satellites into low Earth orbit. And we need a Viking stage, so that'll cost 150. It's not going to be ready. That's okay. That is okay. We'll still get it ready, get it prepped. Let's go. Okay, our payload is complete. Has more launch reliability, but it's going to cost more to build. That figures. That's okay. Launch reliability is very good. And this is the Nemesis 2 rocket. No additional effects. We'll do launch preparations for that. We'll do the launch preparations first. We do it in November, because October would be bad. Okay. And the artificial satellite, let's go ahead and design the vehicle. We want a upper stage, the Viking, even though it's not researched yet, we can still select it. And then the booster, we do have that ready. So it costs us $105,000. We could build it if we had the other research done, which we do not. Do I want to call this an Anubis? I don't know. Anubis sounds cool. Anubis 1 rocket. Confirm. Save the design. There we go. That way we know this is always going to be called an Anubis rocket. Confirm. Can't build it because it's not ready. And we need to confirm this mission. Okay. Did I mess that up? No, I didn't. All right. Oh, I almost messed it up there, though. Confirm. Okay, that we have to wait on for 1 month, right? Just 1 month? Yep. Small upper stage capable of lifting only basic satellites into low Earth orbit. That's all we need it for. Let me not do that yet. Let's go ahead and get this thing built. 105,000. Good, good, good. Let's get into research. Which buildings do we want? I do like this test pad here. Costs money. What about over here? Do we want to get started on one of these two? Lunar orbit or animals in space? Let's go. Don't necessarily need to be brought back to Earth. Ugh. Let's go look at the moon. Lunar orbit ready. Everything else is ready. Let's go to the next event. Artificial satellite complete. Anubis 1, launch reliability, but lower payload reliability. Wasn't that wonderful? And our sounding rocket launch. Let's go ahead and launch it. Looks like an evening launch. Nemesis 2. Additional 2% because of conditions. We should be okay.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Thing is, there's always at least a minimum 1% chance for critical failure. So every launch, we have to look.
We have liftoff.
Oh, looks like we made it. And sounding rockets are easy because there's no additional thing. Oh, we even got into the blue. So no additional effect. We just succeed. There we go. That's what I like to see there too. Okay, 100 and 250. So that'll help us get the lunar orbit thing done. What do we have here? Because I've not been paying attention to this. So we completed our test launch. They've scheduled launches for test launches. Europe failed their test launch. Japan succeeded. They were second. And China completed the third one. Soviet Union was fourth. You see they've got artificial satellites ready to go here. Looks like 9 months. If we beat them by 9 months, we should be okay. Which should be done right now. So let's get our launch window done. There's no reason not to do it in December. So there we go. Once we have training data, our training ability, there is a point to like maybe delaying it. But right now there is no point. And we just need to get it done before July. Confirm mission setup. Thank you. Is there any other missions we can do? No. All right, well, next month it is then. Lunar orbit research is complete. Achieving lunar orbit is a challenge endeavor for any space agency, requiring a payload capable of not only reaching the moon, but also careful course correction to maintain orbit around it. Here we go. Artificial satellite. Well, we actually get it off before the end of the year. Should. 83% chance. In good condition, so that'll be really nice. Okay, let's go.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1. We have liftoff.
Okay, made it. All right, good. Ooh, we've got into the green. Look at this. +1 energy for the duration of the mission. I mean, you're going to find out what a mission is now. This is one of the more complicated parts of the whole thing. It starts off fairly easy, but we see our satellite in orbit over on Earth. And task is to achieve Earth orbit. We need to collect 2 comms and 2 datas. In order to do that, we have 4 turns, 2 actions per turn. To basically use all our resources to gain that. This it shouldn't be too hard. We need to get 2 of each. For our extra reward, we need to get 3 each. But that's going to be fairly simple, as I can just do that and immediately get 3. So, and what we're doing here, we're collecting visual data collection, and then we're collecting visual data, then we're transmitting the data, and that is going to give us 3 comms. If we succeed. Alright, so here's where payload reliability is an issue. A camera shutter failure. Electric malfunction of the camera has resulted in a reduction of data generation. Command output will reduce by 1 data unless I spend 1 energy to resist it. We're going to resist it because otherwise it cancels our other action too. So, a little extra power, but it gives us what we need. It goes on to the next one. We succeed, and of course, if we get into the green, it's also like an additional benefit. The data transmission was successful. So now we just need to get 3 of these, which should just be do. Although this is going to potentially bite us in the butt if we have another failure. In this case, we're doing a signal return test, and then we're going to do some atmospheric sampling. Yeah, see there? I just have to accept it, otherwise it's going to have to cancel the other one. We have the data to spare for it, so. Okay. Atmospheric sampling successfully completed. Now we just need 1 more data, which should be able to get by doing this. Although if I want to guarantee it, then I kind of do. Well, yeah. Why not guarantee it? We're going to recharge power this turn. That's all we're going to do. 2 recharge powers. Now, last turn, it gives you this little like warning thing. Like, hey, this is the last turn. Last chance to do all your stuff. But all we need to do is that. Do a signal return test. That will give us the needed comms we need. Go ahead and recharge power because we don't need to do anything else. See there? Yeah. Atmospheric interference, terrestrial weather patterns that cause a degradation in the signal. This is why I wanted an extra power. Because our payload wasn't great. That gets us all we need. Gets a bonus. Everybody's happy. And we were first. First satellite in orbit. This is our 50% bonus there for the support. Oh, and also, the initial support was because of the first, and then we got the plus 50% on top of it. So, very good. That's going to give us plenty of science. We're getting 418 science per turn now. And our tier, we probably will tier up twice. We've got a lot of support. Let's go back to Earth, see what kind of requests we got. Research developed a new guidance system requiring a basic sounding rocket. Okay, we can do that real quick. Let's plan it. Build the sounding rocket. Nemesis 3. Two-month build time. Let's go. Solar system. Let's see here. We need to get the Pioneer payload ready. So let's go ahead and do that. That will bring us to the next month. And this first episode's kind of gone longer than I intended, so we'll go ahead and put a pause here. So that about wraps things up for today. We've made it up here to Dallas, where I just unlocked a recruitment center, which is super useful for us right now. But right across the street here, I found a company called Plugged, and we're going to take a load of office supplies up to Tucumcari, New Mexico. I've never been there in real life, New Mexico. Well, I've been through New Mexico once, a long time ago, but I don't recall ever going to Tucumcari. This will give us about 14 grand, and it'll take about 8 hours in game. So, but we'll get started on that next time. So until you roll into the next quest, be safe. Bye-bye.